Peace and blessings, everybody. It's the one and only Bainkoy. I want to welcome you to Bainkoy World. I always start off by showing y'all that backdrop. Welcome to Bainkoy World. Y'all see the principles: truth, integrity, honesty, dedication, motivation, elevation, righteousness. And you can see the scroll text. Welcome to Bainkoy World. This is a world of 100% truth-centered, non-fictional content. Everything is verified and verifiable. All right. So today we got a special one. Today we're going to be dealing with family values, family legacy, and we're going to compare and contrast a lot of difference between the African families and the way we was conditioned in America. So you're going to get a lot of knowledge and a lot of direct personal wisdom on this subject. So the special guest that I have today, this is a special one to me also. This is family. You talking about can cook. Come on now. And hey, and anytime I asked, they did it. You know, the best Liberian dishes, palm butter and cassava leaf. Hey, you could find. So I want everybody to welcome to the stage my aunt Sophie.
Woo!
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to talk to me today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, to shed some light on a lot of things. A lot of people on the other side of the world who ain't really had a chance to experience Africa or even the African household don't really know how it is. You know, they only go by what they seen on TV. You know, TV don't tell the truth. You know, so
He's
today,
not gonna tell the
today
truth.
we about to debunk the lies and raise up the truth. We about to get y'all clear today.
Mm.
All right. So before we proceed, you know, I want to give you a space to just introduce yourself to the people and say whatever it is that you want them to know. Don't be shy.
Oh. Okay. Hello, hello, good people. My name is Sophie. You know, my African name is Jada. I was born in Liberia in a little village called Makla. That's where I was born. And as a young lady, I came to the States, got married, and found myself here, and so forth and so on. I live in America, and I'm back and forth in Africa, go visit family, and come back here. This is my second home. So, but we are going to talk a little bit about family values, the importance of family, and legacy. So, we're going to discuss about that today. The way I see it in the African culture compared
Okay.
to our American culture.
So just before we move on, just go ahead and tell them some of the African places you've been to, because you ain't just been to Liberia only now.
Oh, like places that I visit, countries that I visited in Africa.
Yeah.
So I've been to Ghana. I've been to Ghana at least 4 times. I stayed in Ghana for a little bit. Actually, I got married in Ghana.
Hey, didn't know that.
Yes, I got this is my I got married in Ghana. Yeah,
Oh wow.
and one thing I really enjoy in Ghana because they have almost the same policy Liberia have. They have like a lot of different people over there. But I got married in Ghana. I went to Togo. We traveled to Togo. I've been to Togo twice. I
Mm.
like it. Togo is a French speaking country. Actually, I've been to Togo 3 times. Yeah, and then Ivory Coast. That's our other side. Our other
Mm,
end to our family. We have a tie to Ivory Coast too. So I've been to Ivory Coast about
okay.
2 times. Yeah, and I've been to Libya. So I
Mm,
think if I yeah, I've been to Libya. Went to Libya at 97. Been about a month over there. So, but I think that's it. If I remember another country, I'll let you know. But I think that's it.
okay, okay. Well, it's good to hear that you've been to all those different places because that means you also got a lot of different perspectives. Because when you pass through
Absolutely.
them places, first of all, I know the type of people we are. When we go places, we observe how they do things. So if
Yep.
you come from a fair family oriented background, when you go places, you looking to see if the people live like that or not. So you got a
Mm.
chance to not just see it from where you from, but in these other places. So we're going to talk about the importance of family value. So first off, like when you hear the words like family value, like what does that mean to you?
Family value. I'm gonna talk about that in African traditional African setting when we talk about because family value in the Western world is different from the African family value.
That's right.
So the way our race, my family value, the importance of family, your it's not it's not just your siblings. That's not it. It's your entire village, your uncle, your cousins, your whoever. So long they're from that lineage, that value is if you if you have you have to share with them. They gotta make sure you guys are close. You gotta be together. If your brother don't have, your uncle don't have, and one thing in the African culture, your uncle is your dad is your dad, your auntie is your mama. So the African people don't like to say that's my uncle. They'll tell you that's my father, brother, because they don't want to make it long to take away that important, that value system. So they say this is my dad brother, that's my uncle, that's your dad. So they don't want to say that's my uncle and just leave it like that. They want to make
Mhm.
sure you understand the important the relationship between you and that person that you consider as your uncle is not just your uncle, he's your dad full flesh brother. So they want you to keep that in mind. If something happens to your dad, that's your dad right there.
Mm,
So that yeah, they don't use the word like people just use the word loosely. That's my uncle. No, no, no. That word, my dad, brother. You will hear a lot of African people. They'll say, "Oh, that's my sister," and it's not like they're being secretive. Like I had a lot of people ask. Um, I had to learn when I came to America to learn that people ask questions. Is that your mom? How you and that person related? Because when you start breaking down, when you start using cousin, second cousin, third cousin, think about it. Fourth cousin, that put a distance between the family. Because you can say, oh, we not like that because I had people. Yeah, that's my third, that's my fourth cousin. We not like that. Because you already put that boundary between y'all. But if you say that's my auntie daughter, it bring you closer. because you can actually see that bloodline if you following what I'm saying. You can actually see that bloodline. So African people don't like to use the word cursing like that. But now, everybody
Yeah.
trying to be quote unquote civilized. They want, because
Mhm.
that goes back to slavery. Because when you can put a division between somebody and say, that's not your dad, and you ain't my daddy, you didn't birth me. That's my dad right there. That take away that respect, that take away that authority. But your uncle is your dad in the African culture. So that's what make it very important. You can say something happened, everybody say, "Oh, I'm waiting for my dad brother to show up." You say, "What are you waiting for?" "Oh, I'm waiting for my dad's sister to come." They didn't say I'm waiting for my auntie to show up. You understand what I'm saying? They say I'm waiting for
Uh,
my dad's sister to come. I'm waiting for my dad brother to come. They didn't say we're waiting for our uncle now. So if you pay attention to them, because they want you to understand that body over there has a family. And that is very important. And they said we waiting for his family, his brothers, his sisters, the mama and the daddy, everybody come. They ain't talking about stuff like that. So that makes it very, because they want to put a full flesh on that person over there that makes them your family. They want you to understand
mm.
that. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay. So when is when you hear family values and family legacy, is there a difference between the two?
it is a big difference, because your legacy, say, I'm just gonna use me for that. I'm gonna use myself as an example. So what I like people will ask you, what you want your legacy to be. So if I'm here, your auntie, and I'm just this person that don't consider my brother kids or my sister kids, and I'm not leaving a good legacy behind, because the two things, you're gonna have a good legacy or you're gonna have bad. Which one gonna outweigh? So if people have the tendency to speak good about the dead, but a lot of time it's not true. Just because the person died, I don't mean they was a good person. So you want to have a legacy, and and I always say in my head, and to whoever I cross path, it can be at work, it can be the bus stop, it can be with my own family, it can be extended family, whatever. I want my deeds, my daily activity, the way I treat you guys or myself, it should line up with my legacy. So because the things that you pass on from generation to generation, because this is their family legacy, they want um that you use this. I'm trying to, I don't want to get off topic, but you have your legacy saying that my family say we cannot kill, we should not lie, we should have a legacy of people that tells the truth all the time. We should have a legacy of people that stick together. We should have this legacy of people that their family, they stick together, they care about each other. If you cross one person, you cross all. You should have that. You can't be a wishy-washy. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. You can't be a wishy-washy. You can't say, um, because I didn't birth this person, so I'm not gonna treat them the way I treat my child. So your legacy is not being truth. Like I would say no. I don't want to go into that, but so I would just stop right there. Yeah,
Okay, so
because you said don't cross that line, so I'm not gonna go into that. Yeah.
I not. I mean, go ahead and you can be free. We'll go ahead and be free.
No, I'm free. I just wanted to say with our great grandfather, because we from what I learned, because I'm always been a person. I like to ask questions. I want to know. I like to be. I want to know it, and if I don't know something, I'm gonna bother you until you teach me. I want to know. But
Right.
from what I gather from our great grandfather, his he and his sibling, it was just too many of them. So they had to find their only time. They had to find their own place to stay. But then think about it, when they got over there, if they were not people, men with character, with legacy, with dignity, because they came over there, they came with talents. They could sing, they could dance, they could defend themselves, and most of all, in their time, they knew the law. So
Hmm.
they knew you could not do this. And their thing, and they're up to this day, people know that if something happened, if they're sitting on that matter, because their legacy was, we going to, that's what make them to be the high priest people, that we are going to sit on this right here, and this has to be this way, that way. It's not just for us, but for everybody else that we're going to encounter. So you can't say, I'm going to be nice to Bob, but I'm not going to be next to Daniel. You got to be a fair person across the board, and that's that legacy that they pass on today, and that's everybody stay carry on. You have to be truthful. You have to be honest. You cannot be biased. So with those of us that try to practice that, I try to live like that. Sometimes people may think you are complicated because you try to you have to have a legacy that somebody can say, hmm. I remember my Aunt Sophie used to say, no, 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 you can't do that. That is not right. You have to think about it. If you do this to this person, or if somebody do that to you, how will you feel? I
Hmm.
always say to myself, I say, Lord, I don't want to do things that are going to hurt my children or my family tomorrow. I don't want people to be ashamed of me. I don't want to leave here and people say, man, that mom was so evil. You couldn't get nothing out of that woman. She's just a dirty person.
Right.
Because the life you live will speak for you. Be it you gone, but your family that left behind, that's your legacy. And they travel along with them. Because they said, man, yeah, that mama was awful. And they're not gonna
Hmm.
say, and they're gonna, if that child make one mistake, they say, have you expect anything good to come from that place? Look who the parent was. So you want your legacy to line up with your family value. You can't have a family value just for a show where when you go out there, people say, oh, this family looks so good. Or does your legacy match with your family value? Or does your family value match your legacy? So the two things have to line up. They say different things, but actually they mean the same thing.
Right. Okay. Well said. That was beautiful. And I do want to say, I did have a direction that I
Yeah.
wanted to go, but I don't want you to be stuck in your thoughts because you're trying to toe
No,
that
well,
line.
let's try that. Let's try that. We can
So
try
I'm
your
saying,
direction.
be free. No,
Yes, let's try
let's
the
just be
direction.
free. Just be free. Just be free. Just be free. You know what I mean? Let's keep it smooth. Just be free. Okay, so one of the things that I do love about you know, being in the land or being with the African family is you learn a lot of history that you couldn't read in a book or see on TV.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the floor and just share some of the different ways in the history of family history being passed down through the generations of the
Uh,
family.
okay. So I'm gonna tell you what my experience as a young child when I first went home back in 1988. I probably was probably 10 years old. And that was my first time going home. Me and my sister Princess. And we went home. We went to our hometown, little town. Hopefully, man, I'm trusting God. Maybe one day we all would go over there so I can see. But the two things that I remember happened. We were in the village that afternoon, and they call it, I call it a talking drum, but it's the drum of communication. But I always say the talking drum. So when you leave the other town, they got like Makla is sitting up by itself, and they got Leopardtown right next to Makla. Probably Leopardtown and Makla, they like 30 minutes apart, maybe shorter than that. I'm not too sure. But in my child mind, something had happened, and they beat the drum. So they would go to the entrance of each row, and they take the drum there, and they beat the drum. So the way the person beat the drum, it tells you it's an emergency and everybody needs to come now. So they'll go. So if that town have like three entrance, they would go to each entrance. So my class had four entrance. So they
Mm,
go to one on their farm road. It's over there. He and couple of his brothers and grandpa they were farming that way, and they beat the drum over there. And they go to the entrance of Leopardtown. They beat the drum. They go to Gidalo on the entrance. You go that way to go to the river. They beat the drum. Then they go to Freetown side and they beat the drum. Not Sierra Leone Freetown, but Glaro got their own Freetown too, and they beat the drum over there. So the way they beat that drum, it communicated tell them emergency happened. You need to get here like now,
mm,
and everybody started coming. But what it was, granddaddy brother had died suddenly. He was
mm,
not. He was sick, but they were not expecting him to die at the end. You know, he was like this big old man, a tribal man. So everybody came, and of course, it's a tribal thing. So all the kids had to go one side, and then and you see the way now things happen. People don't respect the dead. They don't have respect for older people. They just straight up disrespectful. You can't. It's not like that. So they had to get all the women one side, all the kids one side, and the men had to talk about it and everything, do what they need to do, and then early morning they break the news. They're not just gonna say, "Oh, you know the old man over there died yesterday." No, 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 no. They get everybody together and they said, okay, this is what happened. He's gone. And people cry and then they have the ceremony. And then it's another one because they beat the drum differently for death. And then somebody have like a bad accident. And I seen that too. And they beat the drum to a different way to let you know that somebody hurt and it's life threatening and they need setting people, not just anybody. So they need setting men, like people that know herbs or whatever to do. And they go, and then that's when I seen dad and a couple of older guys. And they went, that was one of the young men. The tree fell and broke his. The tree fell with him and broke both of his legs. And
Mm.
so yeah, so they had him, because it's a way of setting communication they do. And then talking about family history. So they African traditional believe in storytelling. So everybody can say like what they did with us the time I spent over there. So everybody sit in the town square in the middle of the town, and they tell stories. They tell you actually it's their family story. They tell you about the family, how they came about, where their daddy, the grandparents, where they had it from, things you should do, things you should not do, why you shouldn't do those things. And they always believe that there's a higher being. They believe in God. But because of slavery tried to strip away their belief. Slavery tried to make it seem that Christianity, the slave master used Christianity to actually confuse them because they tell them that belief system. Like I remember growing up, when we were in the time, like you see how the first of the month is tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to cook a plain rice and they put a palm oil in it. It's no salt, it's no pepper. Just how the Bible talk about the leavened bread you can eat. You can put yeast, you can put all this stuff in your food. They're going to make that rice. They're going to make they're going to take the chicken egg, the white and the yolk. They're going to boil it. It's no salt, it's no pepper, it's nothing like that. And they're going to put it. They're going to put it in the rice. They're going to mix it up, and they're going to pray to God, and they're going to tell God to save their land, to protect their land from illnesses, from all diseases. If nothing that does not resemble the Spirit of God, that they don't one in a time should not come through each of those places into that time. They prayed against diseases, they prayed against sudden death, they prayed against young death, they prayed to have more kids, they prayed for good farming, they prayed against just natural disaster, they prayed against anything that does not resemble good should not come their way, and they would bless it, and each person would take a hand and eat, and sometimes they want to leave, they set it at the corner of each of the row, and they tell God thank you. That was their way of offering stuff.
Mm.
So some of those value, and go back and think about it now, you didn't have young people dying like people die now. We didn't have no murder over there. And
Right.
if something happened, they talk. If you break the rules, they have consequences. They're gonna stand you up. They're gonna talk to you. They're gonna tell you. They pass the thing on and they explain detail to you. They would do the storytelling. They would tell you about their family history. They would tell you about the legacy. They would tell you about the family value, what they expect, and most of all, they would tell you you have to take care of your family. You have to stick together because all you have is your family that God gave you. You cannot choose your family because that's the family God gave you. And they would tell you have to stay together. If your sister don't have, you have to take your sister kids. If your brother don't have, you have to take your brother kids. If your brother is sick, you have to take care of your brother. If your sister is sick, and it's a mandated thing for the African culture that you
Mm.
take care of your ones that unable to take care of themselves. You got to take care of your parents when they get to the point that they cannot take care of themselves, that's your responsibility. It's a mandate. It's not like, oh, he wasn't nice to me when I was little. He didn't do this for me. No, 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 no. That's not your place. They believe that God would take care of all those things. That's not your place to do that. So that's why you find a lot of African people, you be like, man, it's bunch of them in one house. Yeah, because in case
Hmm.
you the only person that have a roof, you got 3 bedroom. Why you alone want to stay in 3 bedroom house? Why should somebody, that's the difference. Why should somebody be in a 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom house and you die in a house? It take days for somebody to find you. The blowfly find you first and you die and people don't know, your neighbors don't know you there. Maybe it take a week or two before somebody like, oh, I ain't see my neighbor. Like my neighbor across the street that died. And we were just like, okay, we haven't seen him come outside. And the other guy said, I ain't seen him on my camera. So by the time we all got together to notify the police, it been 8 days he been dead.
Mm.
So that's why African people always say it's always better for two to work together. It more better for three because somebody try to attack one of you guys, it's two people there to defend the one person, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was great. So now, is there any stories, just one, of family history that was passed down in whatever way that you can't find in the book, in the movie? Just do you have one story that you remember being passed down?
Um, I I don't
No
them
pressure.
this them this I just know about our family. I really don't know a lot of detailed story just from what I just said, and then um okay,
Right.
I can tell you I can tell you this right. So when some things that I know, like go back to food and stuff like that. Like my dad. So it's bunch of them in the same time as all of these bunch of siblings. Most of them the Mocha great grandfather had a lot of boys and granddaddy ended up having a lot of boys too. But it was like they all stick together, but they always had like dad and uncle Mimi, like they eat together. Say his wife would cook and mom would cook, but it was like they always have to eat together. And I was like, why the two men? He take his food to his brother house, and they live next to each other. Mimi would bring his food to our house, and they eat together. But then come to think about it, dad was a mass dancer. Mimi was a mass singer. You know the mass dancer, they dress up in the dance.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know
But
that.
okay, but in his singing, he told stories about their family. And so he sing, he do the narrating. I don't know this story, because I didn't grow up with him. But just this short time I spent with him and dad dance, but I never saw my dad dancing. I just heard um everybody everybody else seen, even Princess saw him dance, but except for me, because I was young then, I was little, and I didn't grow up there, so I really didn't see it. But they told like stories um about their family, how they got their place, what you should do, what you should not do, stuff like that. Um, but um, I don't know how to explain it, Bob, because it's like it's kind of because they do it like many of the men will like do the traditional and narrate and stuff like that. So I read it. But
It's
the
okay.
thing, yeah,
We get to something like
get to
that
that. Yeah.
later time. Yeah, that's fine. So what I want to ask you now is a two-part question.
Okay.
So first I want you to tell us what held our families together, and then I want you to tell us what were the mistakes or the things that went wrong or possibly that our parents did wrong that caused us to come off track.
Okay. Now, our family back then with our grandparents, our great grandparents, they have the thing that everybody should stick together. You you gotta take care of your brothers, you gotta take care of your sister. Like from the very beginning, if you remember, I was saying like we don't do the uncle, we don't introduce as uncle, but your dad, brother, your mom, sister, and stuff like that. And it was like if if I was wrong, it was rectified right away. It was you wrong, Sophie, and you cannot do that. You cannot do that to to Teresa. You cannot do that. You are automatically wrong, and everybody bring that hammer down on you. That that's a no no. But what that we got complicit, that's the word I'm looking for. We got complicit is that when people started quote unquote having some form of education, some form of Western world in them,
Mm,
and most especially where I'm not because the thing is you have to look at the whole trajectory of everything. You have to look at the big picture. Because if you say, I got this and the person don't have this is mine, I work for it. So I'm gonna cut that person off. Even though you cut them off physically, but you cut them off mentally for yourself and emotionally too. And then you cut them off, you losing some part of your legacy because now you're gonna be estranged to the family. So your children are coming along, they're not going to know because you're not going to pass that value on that you learned back then to your
mhm.
children because in your mind you thinking they always won. Because a lot of time when I sit and talk to some of my family that is strange, and when we sit and talk about things, the first thing I hear a lot of people say, "Oh man, they always want something. They always calling you to beg. They always want something." So if you have that mindset, even if somebody always calling you to ask for something, and say they ask you for a couple of dollars, you give them a couple of dollars, and maybe you start talking. You just make it a business. You just make it a hobby. You talk and you just pick the brain. Ask them. So back in the day, what you used to do? They start telling you some of the family history that you didn't know about. The family value, what your grandparents did, what your great grandparents did, what how things used to be, how you go to the creek, you get a water because it was like setting time all the women go get water, all the men have to go brush the road. So they start telling you these things and different things you start learning. And then if you somebody that have a open mind and then it changed your trajectory, you thinking mm, I was thinking wrong. I was thinking it's always about begging, but it's really the even though they need something for you, but technically, if you look at the big picture,
Oh, we having some technical difficulties, y'all. Hold on. We're gonna bring her back in a second. Hold on. All right, we back. Let's see. Let's see if we back on par now.
mhm,
Yes.
yeah, we back in business.
Yeah, the network don't want us to have this good conversation. We gonna make
That's
it
what
happen
I said.
anyway.
But it's gonna happen. It's
We're gonna
going
make it
to
happen anyway.
happen.
You was talking
Yep.
about you was talking about some good stuff, but let's just jump ahead to fixing those broken links and putting the family
Okay.
back in order. What is it gonna take to do that?
It has to take it has to take both sides. Sometimes facing those maybe it might not be they it might not be the main people, but you can work around it because if you have like a okay, how can I put it? Say you just have to find a way that they can see no matter what. I don't care how rich, how poor you are. Your family is always important. So you have to work around it. Maybe call, set up something that everybody can get together. Those that want to come, gonna come. Those that want to make that change will make that change. But it has to start from somewhere. And most especially we our young people now, and for those of all that getting older, we would have to break that chain and start bringing our young people together and trying to teach them the important so they can know because the two things, if you don't know your family history, you're not going to have a legacy. If you don't have a you don't have your family legacy to pass on to this next generation. So it's in a dilemma because you somebody didn't pass it on to you, so you don't have it to pass it on to your kids, and your kids don't have it to pass it on to their kids. So you have to like work around it and see what best you can do as a person to mend those broken pieces. It's like if you're gonna be a part of um more and stuff together, one you gotta find a way so you can find two, three people that want to do it, and then maybe the other person will ease their way through and gradually will come together. But it's gonna take work, it's gonna take time. It's just not gonna happen like that. The family legacy is dead. It's sitting there. It's like it's in a box. It's sitting there. But who gonna open the box?
Mm.
It's there. It's not going. It's not going anywhere. It's literally like it's you got its clear part. It's sitting right there. It's sitting there. But who's because we saw. I don't know if I shared that with you or if that Daniel I shared with. I said everybody wanna come to America. Nobody I know. Maybe I'm getting up subject, but I'm sorry if I do.
Mm, go
Everybody
ahead.
want to come. Yeah, everybody want to come to America. A lot of people not thinking about going to Africa. You can talk to African American. You can talk to um or maybe a white person or whatever. 9 out of 10, if you talk to white people, they'll be like, "Oh, I want to go to Africa. I love going to Africa." But you talk to African American, no, I don't want to go over there. Why should I go over there and this and that makes you ask yourself why you don't want to go to before I used to ask why you don't want to go, but then now I have to change my thinking. I asked myself, I said, why this person don't want to go to Africa? And I had to answer that question myself before I can talk to that person again. They don't want to go to Africa because the only thing they see about Africa is calamity. You got people putting Africa out there as hungry people, bad people. We got war. We killing each other. We got farming. The white people that do go to Africa and live there or visit and come back, they don't do the documentary. They don't put out here and say, "Oh my God, I've been to Africa. This is how beautiful Africa is." They don't come
Mm,
back and say, "I've been to Abidjan." And Abidjan, more of Minnesota don't have nothing on Abidjan, the more of Abidjan. Nobody don't
right.
say that.
Of course not.
So no, so if you a black person and you've born and raised in America, it's not that black people don't want to go to Africa, but nobody is breaking that. The physical chain is broken, but that mental chain is there. And you know the scary place that anybody can be if you are mentally in shackles is the most scary place you can be because you thinking to yourself, I don't know nobody over there. Everything I know is here. Even though I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, I'm constantly have to watch my back. I'm constantly have to chew my words. I constantly have to do this, that, and the third. But it's okay. I'm just gonna settle. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna take that chance because
Right.
I can get a job here. I can go to work today. I can come home. I'm able to buy food to eat. I can put a roof over my head.
Right. Right.
But
Very highly
y-
comfortable.
yeah, it's comfortable. Nobody's telling you that if you open this door right here, and that if you go through that door, there's a big old freeway right there. You can scream, you can holler, and if you try to tell somebody, they're gonna be say, "Okay, if it's all good, why are you here?" And
Hmm.
if I tell you I have both sides of the world, and you're gonna say, if it's so good in Africa, where you at? And I can say, well, it's a decision that I made because this is my thing. When people say, "Why you here?" I said, "Because America stole my great 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 grandfather resources and brought it here, so I'm here too." I said they brought my people here as property and they sold in, somebody and died. And I said, I'm here. I said, nah, you got a choice. You can go over there and see too. Because I have seen this side and I have lived this life and I have lived that life. And I said,
Hmm.
I can make a decision. I can pack up today and say, I'm going home. But can you say that? Because mentally you in shackles and you so scared because it's the unknown when people put stuff in your head so much. You thinking to yourself, well, I don't know that place. I don't think they're going to welcome me. And the culture here says that African do not like African American, and which is a lie. But if they don't put a conflict between us, if we unite and we can understand each other and we can work together, that's gonna be a global disaster. And
It
they don't
would
want,
be.
yeah. And that's why I try to tell people, take this blindfolded off. I came to America as a 22, 23 year old. I spent my 23 birthday here. I said, I came here and I didn't go to Africa until after 25 years. And I would never forget when I got to Kotoka Airport it's like I got over there, and the first thing, it was like I just got hot all of a sudden. I took my, because I had a sweater anyway. You know the plane is cold. Took my sweater off, and I remember this one immigration lady. She was like, she thought I was American. I said, no, I'm Liberian. I said, but I was in Ghana here for a while. I said, my family here, so I came back. And she was like, oh my God, welcome home, sister, welcome home. She gave me a hug. And it was just like the whole atmosphere, the way people welcome me. And then when I got to the camp, the food, everybody came, tell me hello, brought me stuff. Think about it now. I'm from America. I go home to go visit my family. And people bringing me stuff. I supposed to be giving them stuff, but they bringing me stuff. They cooking food. They did all this, and it just like a light bulb just went over my head. It's like this whole veil that I had over my head just came off. I had a totally. It's like my spirit just woke up. I felt like I don't know if that's you I told or Daniel, but I just felt like I was dead and I just woke up.
Mm.
It's just like something literally just woke me up, and I was over there. I didn't stay in Accra. I didn't stay in Kumasi. I didn't go to Winneba. I went to the camp. I went
Mm.
to the refugee camp. I stayed over there. We went to the pump in the kids. We drove water, put it in the wheelbarrow. I wheeled the barrow to the house. We went to the market. And I'm gonna send you some pictures and video. Maybe you can put it on your stuff and show it. And they were just like, wow. Well, I was missing stuff, and then with the food, and it just like I don't know how to articulate it. I can put it into words, and the only thing I can say it's good for everybody to go. Like I said, just go one time. If you don't like it, it's all good, but go and check it out for yourself.
Right. But now you talked about um, people them not knowing nobody over here, and then you don't see the truth about it on TV. So how do you get what is called the Black American to want to know more about Africa and actually come over here and see it
Now,
for
if
themselves?
you
Once they see it, they'll know the lies. But from over there,
exactly.
you don't know the lies. So how do you get them to come?
But that goes back to this person having an open mind. So you have to, because you the thing is, you can't make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. And with this culture right here, people are so easy to believe a lie versus believe the truth. And America is conditioned to make black people um most less to think that anything good can come from a black nation. Africa is not a country, it's a continent. If we can move past that mentality for people to understand, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. And the second thing, that continent, everybody on that side are not poor people. They're not suffering. They're not savages. They're not running around here. Don't have education. They don't have till growing up their rear end. They don't. They doesn't have. They doesn't have education. If you can get, I don't know about older black people now, but if we can get our young generation to understand that you stand a chance living a long life in Africa versus you stand a chance living a long life here as a young man, black man. Let me be specific. Because the thing is, you a young boy, you 18, you 20 years old. Society automatically assume young black men not up to nothing but trouble. They automatically assume they don't they're not good people. They just bunch of gangbanger, which is not true. It's very intelligent. If we can reach then to just plan a field trip with you, even though going to Africa is not like a field trip, but try to find you some African friends. Try to have your open mind. Um, get with some African family. If you want to go do like people, they sing where they plan trip to go to Mexico. They plan trip to go to Aruba. They plan trip to go to Guyana. Cause since I've been here, I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Grand Touch. I've been to the Bahamas. I like to travel.
We can barely see you.
Yeah, I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Grand Touch. I've been to Puerto Rico, all those places. So Jamaica, just how people plan these trips that they go on, they go to the different places. Plan a
You're a
trip.
world traveler. You're a world traveler.
I like it because if you go to these places, you learn different things. Like I took Faye to we went to the Bahamas and in Jamaica, and when we got back on the boat, and Faye was just crying, and she was like, "Oh, mommy, I'm so sorry if I misbehave. I'm sorry." She said, "I cannot believe that. Look at how the kids living, and they are so respectful, and they are well mannered, and they have less than we have, and we don't know the importance." That's why, and that was one of the reasons I took Faye out of Africa with me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes telling people is one thing, but seeing is believing. When somebody can see and look at all that stuff and say, "Oh wow, I can come over here and just be myself," and you can go over there and like I always tell young people, isn't that wonderful to walk somewhere and you look everybody around you look just like you?
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, "Hey, my brother, how you doing? Hey, man, you want drink some of this, eat some of this, taste this right here."
That's right.
That is that you're not gonna walk into a room and somebody be like, "Oh, hold your purse, there they come,"
Right.
because that's how people do. You go to the store, everybody walk in the store, and then they asking you, the only person, "Can I help you?" "No, I don't need your help. If I need your help, I ask you." Versus you going somewhere and be like, "Oh, my brother, sit down here. You want something to drink? Drink this right here. Look at this right here. Do this right here. Be comfortable. You hot, you cold, whatever the situation is, stuff like that." So I
Mm.
try. The thing is, it's hard, but then again, it's not hard. You just have to find. We just got to keep preaching this, and now the way more celebrity going, normal people going.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of Black American have moved to different part of Africa and they're making all these different videos. So you're gonna wake people up, and like you and I said, and I still making my campaign when I meet people, and they be like, "Where are you from?" I say, "Africa." "No, you're not from Africa. You from somewhere down south." I say, "Yeah, I lived down south for a long time." So I got a jack up accent now going on with it. I don't even
Mm.
realize I had it until people pointed out to me. I said, and I always tell people, I said, "Go check it out." And I tell them, I said, "Think about it. I came to this country as a 21-year-old, about to be 22. I came to this
Mm.
country. I said I took a
Yeah.
chance, even though I got married when I came here. But I took a chance. I came to this country. I don't even know what I was going to meet in front of me, but I took that chance to come to somewhere that I already knew that they didn't like black people like that. But I still took that chance and came here. and 27 years later, I'm still here. And I
Mm.
said, and I go back and forth. I said you have to go because it's something not working here for you. Try another place and see. Try
That's
see. You know, it's always good. Most especially, and I tell people, I say, as a black person, it's a automatic. You go to Africa, well, you're gonna be welcome. Black people as a whole welcome anybody anyway. But you a black person, you go to Africa, man, you gonna how somebody gonna come in there and just look out there and say, "Oh, you don't belong here." No, it's not gonna happen. Cause the first thing the neighbor gonna be like, if you don't get out of here,
Mm-hmm.
So we just gotta keep preaching that. The people that wanna listen, they're gonna listen. It's like you see my shirt. It say
Uh-huh.
it's like they say if my people that I call by my name will humble themselves and trust and seek His face, which is God, He will
That's
heal
right.
our land. Yeah,
Amen. That's right.
yeah, yeah. And then you got this where it say we perish because we lack of knowledge. Sometimes we have knowledge, but we don't put it into practice.
That's called wisdom. Wisdom is the proper application of knowledge. Mm.
Exactly. So you have all that. You don't like I listen to this guy right here, Dr. Omar all the time. And he just be on it. He's be on it. He be on it. And I said,
Dr.
man,
Umar.
yeah, I listen. Yeah, I love listening to him. And I said, he's on it, and he's on it. And I be praying. I said, Lord, please protect him because people don't like when you harming on stuff, and he is just like, can you don't see this right here? What I see, what I'm telling you, is all facts. It's not fiction. If somebody keep telling you that that place is not good, why you going there if it's not good for me to go there? Why you can't stay out of there?
Mm.
It's so bad, but you can't stay out of there, but you don't want me to go there. That's the part I want us. I don't even want to say African American, but I want to say black people in general to understand. If a white person say Africa is not good for you, why white people can't stay out of Africa? You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So
They gonna
we
get
just
them
gotta keep
resources.
encouraging each other.
Right, right. So
We gotta keep. Hmm.
let's take some time to raise up some truth and expose some lies, because
Absolutely,
there's a lot of misconceptions about Africa that you probably seen on TV, and you probably work with a lot of Americans. So I know they ask you the silly questions like, is the
they
roads
do.
paved? Do you see
They
lions
do.
and all that? So
They
just go
do.
through some of the stuff that you hear and
That people
then
ask.
reveal the truth about it so people can
Okay.
be clear.
So I have asked somebody asked me, where you from? I said I'm from Africa. So how did you get here? Mm, I walk here.
Right.
And then I have somebody ask me, how did you learn to read and write? Do they have schools in Africa? Yeah, how did you learn to read and write? I
That's
said,
terrible.
yeah, I said, sometimes I'm being honest with you, sometimes I get ignorant. And sometimes I
Right.
say, well, I learned how to read and write when I came to America. And I said, wow, I must be a genius. I said, because it's the short time spent in America. If I learn everything, then I'm pretty smart, right? Uh,
That's funny.
so,
Yeah, that is
yes,
so ignorant. I mean, the
yeah,
president of the United States, Donald Trump, was meeting with the Liberian president and told him, "Oh,
yeah,
you speak English so well." Like that was
yeah.
just so ignorant.
Exactly. So, but people put spotlight on it because it came from Trump. But actually, on a daily basis, that's
Oh,
how
David.
I would say 80% American think.
No
Honestly,
matter the
when
age, I know people that's above 60 still thinking like that.
yes, So so it's like even being honest with you, boy, I get that a lot from black people. They'll be like sometimes they'll say they say, "Oh yeah, I heard you guys have on lion, um,
Ooh, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
yeah, lions and tigers running around in the town. Where you guys sleep?" I said, "Send it running around, so we sleep in the trees."
Right.
And then if I say stuff they're talking about, "Oh, you ain't gotta be ignorant." No, you asked me an ignorant question, so I gave you an ignorant answer since you want to act like your mind is not working well. That's to let we all go work it out. But like they would ask you about the currency, so we're gonna talk about the money.
Right.
Like I said, because you got Ghana, you got Liberia, because Togo and Cote d'Ivoire and Ivory Coast they use CFA. So like I tell, in the easier way I know how to break it down is 100 American dollars that give you, because if you say 50,000, they're literally thinking 50 US dollars. No, 50,000 CFA. So if it changed, so I say, well, you can find you a place you can find you a one bedroom apartment in some part of, because Abidjan is way expensive then, but in Saint Petro you can find you one bedroom apartment with bathroom, kitchen, everything in there. Your bathroom, your kitchen, stuff like that with your light that by $80, which is for D-mean. So that's 80 US.
Mhm.
So I said, if you really get your money right, you buy your piece of property over there, you can build your house, or you want to lease up, whatever way you want to go about it. I say you, but the best thing I say, you buy your property. You can live a decent life over there. I say, and you don't have to pay mortgage. You don't have to pay taxes on your property. You pay for
Mm.
it. You pay for it. That's yours. It's for you. You pass it down from generation to generation. Nobody gonna say, "Well, since the daddy died, on the kids think they how you still gotta pay property taxes." It don't work like that. And sometimes when you say it, it's sinking to some people. They'll be like, really? I need to look into that. And then sometimes you tell people, they'll be like, well, I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they'll be because if you condition to one way of life is somebody telling you the truth, and I'm guilty of that too. Because like sometimes I read stuff, I be like, is this really true? You know, because you get so conditioned to certain things and then you end up being complacent, you know. So you get complacent, you forget what is right and what is wrong, so you just sit in a dilemma. But sometimes you tell people, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's true, I think I'm gonna look into that. And some people will be like, no, I won't. But you know what? But let me tell you something. The main people that really have a open mind on setting on this global change that going on is, believe it or not, is young. Like if I get into a conversation with a young person, like be it at work or maybe in the street, like young black male or female, they are so eager to learn. But the older crowd like us, we are so settled in our ways, we don't want change. Now, very few does need want change, but like young people, those are the ones that they'll be like, oh wow, I'm gonna look into that, and they just be so excited about stuff like that, and then they'll be like, yeah, I seen this the last time on YouTube, or I seen this on Facebook and stuff like that, you know. So the young generation is the generation that, because those are our future, And those the one that we need to hand a legacy to, that family value to. Those are the people that we need to focus on, not people that already had their mind set already.
Right, right, right. Well, I know a lot of the stuff I tell people, like when Mr. Saylee came here, you like he say, even all the stuff I told him couldn't have prepared him for what he was about to experience. And I
Exactly.
tell people all the time, like, I've been here all these years. I haven't had no stress days. That may be hard
No,
for people to believe because in a place
they
like
don't
America,
believe it.
you got stress every day or at least
Exactly.
a few times a week. Over here, you can literally go a whole year stress free.
Yeah, you
It's
just chill.
beautiful. Yeah, and everything is not in a rush.
No,
Your bills ain't
they,
demanding.
no, it's
You can
not. Honestly, it's not. You
I
can you
mean,
can
you
wake up in the
can
morning
eat
and say,
for a
"Look,
week.
I'm just gonna sit on the tree. Me and my family chit chat.
You
That's
can
it."
just do that. You can enjoy it. You enjoy the weather, no
Yeah,
stress. Especially if you're on the coast, the beaches, like it's highly beautiful. Whereas in America, there's a lot of trauma that's
it
going
is.
on, and you don't realize it until you come out of it.
It's
You know, it
exactly.
seems, and the trauma becomes so normal over there.
It
It becomes
is.
normal because you get used to it. You be in survivor mode or whatever. When you come over here, it's just a whole nother experience. So more people definitely. That's why we putting out these messages to get people to come because they really need to see it. Really need
You
to see
got
it. So before we conclude, I want to ask you, and I want to make it personal because what I'm saying, we need to create avenues to be able to let people see the truth. So what are your plans for Mama Africa?
it. I'm good. They say you can leave your house and go clean somebody else's house. So I have to work within my family first, get everybody over there, try to see not those, because those that want to go, those that want to see where they're from, how they can bring a change too. Because you know what, like I always said, it started from Africa. It's going to go back to Africa. Even though people think it started from America, no, it didn't. It started from Africa. And then it came this way. So it's going to go back to Africa. But we, the African descendant, we as a people, we have to start within our immediate family first. Our children, our grandchildren, our friends, our people we meet down the road, cross our path. We got to pass that on, but I'm going to work within my own household first. And then,
Mm,
like, I've been talking to my neighbors, and the son want to come with us, so I'm gonna work with that first, and then spread the news, because word of mouth is a good thing, but it's good when somebody go and see for themselves. So like when Faye went over there, she did all that video, she and put it out there and did the whole little write out and put like everything she heard. It was totally lies than what she saw in the month she spent over there. Cause we spent a month over there. It's a totally eye opening for her. So if I can
mm,
work on my in my household, my immediate family, my friends and stuff, and that thing. Because if I change one life and that life change another lives, that's like a big old circle going, and we can make a difference. It's like to say, like when the doctors, they science better find out how HIV, how this person got it, they started with the measles If that's a woman that want to give it to the man, or the man give it to, so you can start working on the partner that you have over the period of time, and then they see who is the common denominator between you guys. So saying I'm gonna be the common denominator in my family, and I'm gonna work with that to see, and they can work on that, and then we move forward with that. But we have to, in this way, having me on your platform, that's a big part too, because somebody gonna listen to it, and somebody gonna see. And the one thing before I leave, when wherever we go, we gotta make videos. We gotta do. We gotta make videos. We gotta put the words out there. We gotta be people, and we gotta find people too that left America, that travel over there, that'll give you their experience, not just people that live there. Because people that from another part of the world that's over there, if they can tell you how they feel, because if they can tell you their experience, how they're living there. Because I met a couple from the U.S. and I went to the Ivory Coast, Wanda and her husband. They live in Cote d'Ivoire. They've been living there 7 years. Seven
Mm.
years. And I said, Wanda, you gonna move
Yeah.
out of the state? She said, nope. She said, this is
Exactly.
my home now. She and her
Mm.
husband. We met at the airport and we stayed in contact with each other. So if you can meet people from the US, I mean black people, because white people always been living in Africa. But for some reason, black people don't want to go. White people always been, if you go into your village right now in Makla, if I tell you, we got in that jungle that you got to go over the river to go over. If I tell you, there's two white couple live over there, Guy and Aaron and their family and their children, they live over there. Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of like, you sit here and you try to, but like I said, if we can find like Black American that already over there, that settle over there, that been over there for years, they can give you the do's and the done, the good and the bad. Because the thing is, I keep forgetting something I wanted to say. I keep forgetting, but probably gonna come back to my remembrance. But if we can get those people to, and just share a little feeling when they got over there, and how they got there, and what they like and what they don't like, and overall what they advise to people, that would be the best thing. But like I said, I'm gonna keep spreading the word. That's why I always take a lot of pictures. I do a lot of videos, and I show people when I go over there. And I'm not always about the glamour part of Africa, because okay, this bring me back to, because America don't always, people always show the good part of America, but they don't show the bad part of America. But when they go
Hmm.
to Africa, they show the worst part of Africa, and they don't show the good part of Africa. So that's politics. Cause America, my 22-year-old coming to America, I didn't know America had homeless people. I didn't know America had bad stuff. Everything I saw, it was good because the movies. And when I got to New York, the guy was like, "Okay, welcome to America." Then I was, so I had a wake up call. So
Exactly.
if you promoting, if you go to Ghana and you just go to a common circle, or you go to the best part of Accra, you go to the best part of what you call the place, Winneba. We went to Winneba before. You go to the places and just show the best part. And when somebody come over there, they're going to expect the whole country, because a lot of people don't think Africa is a continent. They always think Africa is a country, and they're going to think the whole Ghana is supposed to look that way.
Right.
Versus you having poor people, you having rich people, you having middle class. The same thing in America. Everybody don't live the same, but for some reason, when it comes down to Africa, they just look at it in one set. They just look at it like that, and that's go back there. I always tell people that's politics. I say you want to. I say people don't know. We talk about. I say they sit there and just put Africa into a box. You can't put Africa cannot fit into a box. Africa does not belong into a box.
Right.
So if Africa is not this good, and I'm gonna stick with that. If Africa is not good, if Africa does not have something that worth living for humanity, why are people fighting over Africa? You put that in your mind and think about it. Think about it. Just as a human being, if this is not good, why do you want it so bad?
Right.
So
Right. They know Mama Africa got it all the resources, everything,
yeah, they
man. The
know that.
perfect
So
weather,
exactly. So
the perfect
it's like,
structure. They even got this new thing that they going with now, this new narrative that the map has been flipped and America is the promised land and Africa
oh, they know
is
they're lying. They know that.
they all over the place, but that's all
They
right.
know.
They can
Know.
have that narrative because I'm here and I see it. So that's why I'm doing stuff like this. So people can
They
see
know
what's
that.
really going on. So yeah, we getting ready to be showing a lot of good content. I put a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff on TikTok. They got the second biggest festival in West Africa coming up in a few days. So we're gonna
Okay.
show a lot of content from that. Everywhere we go, we just gonna be taking videos, taking pictures, and showing it. So that's definitely
Yeah.
gonna help what we're trying to do.
They do.
So
Yeah, because like I said, if you having to meet a if you having to meet a African American couple, even if it's white couple that over there, because when I went to Togo, I met a white couple over there from California, and they moved over there. But if you having to meet people from America or from the UK or whatever Western world you they find themselves from, just do a quick interview with him. Because until you can
absolutely,
blow,
absolutely.
yeah, if you can until you can blow this thing up, cause people, my thing is like a couple of my friends want to come with me to Africa, so I'm working on that too. But I want to come over there and just if I can get what I need settle and then I can do that. Because if I can come with two or three people, I don't want to be looking for spot here and there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it can come because like I told him, I said I want to take you in the city and I want to take you in the rural part. I don't want you to just see one side of Africa. I want you to
Mhm,
know the ins and outs, and see what it is. But
exactly. So yeah, we getting
mhm,
ready to make it happen. So everybody gonna get a chance to see the true Africa.
we
It's the
got to
last episode now. No more lies. Hey, people, book your ticket and go. So
get
in
that's what
closing,
I
I'm
say.
just going. Yeah, that's it. Book your ticket and go, and just see it.
That's all you can do. And we have to meet, but I'm telling you, we got to meet the young generation, young people that
So we
eager to learn, people that really know what they want. Now, everybody got to feed everybody, but some people just want to test and go by the business, and some people want to
right.
be forward. So you got to look at it like that. You
Well,
can't you
we
can't
got
make
plans.
anybody.
We got some plans that we gonna bridge the gap and get people here to see it. We got some big plans. Some
We
big
got
plans, but yeah. So I want to open up the floor and let you say whatever, some final words to the people. Whatever you want to say to them, I'm gonna just let you say it, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. So the floor is
okay.
yours.
First, okay, so all the listener to the viewer whoever out there, I would like to say to you, to each of you, give Africa a chance. Go over there, check it out, plan your trip. Like you plan a trip to go to Aruba on these for what do you call the thing? Jamaica, Puerto Rico, whatever.
The
Put
islands,
Africa, yeah. For what I think of,
the
would
islands.
you? Yeah, yeah, one of these islands, but put Africa on your to-do list, on
That's
your
right.
bucket list.
That's right.
Just give Africa one chance. Find your African country. that you want to visit. It does not have to be Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin. Africa is a huge continent.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one country, take a trip there. And when you are going, make sure find somebody to go with. Don't just go by yourself because you're gonna need a tour guide. You need to explore. Just go places, check it out. You black, trust me, it's gonna be fun. You're not gonna be looking up. I can guarantee you, you're not gonna be looking over your shoulder. You're not gonna feel
Uh-oh, we got some technical difficulties, y'all. It was getting good. Let's see if we can bring it back. Hold tight, y'all. Let's see if we can see if we can bring them back. Let them finish closing it out. So while we wait for them to come back, I want to say that if it is good to have somebody already in the place where you are going, you know, when she say don't travel by yourself, it is good to have somebody already there that can help you with the ins and outs. And if you should so happen to choose Ghana, you visit this YouTube channel. That's my channel, Bainkoy World. I have a Ghana series that will prepare you on making it here. It deal with preparation, en route, arriving, getting started. You can just follow it. My brother followed it to the T and he's here. He wasn't calling me every 5 seconds asking me stuff. The information is there. He is confirmation that it works. So if Ghana is on your list, I know a lot of y'all heard about Deti December and you want to make that trip then. Ghana, the series will show you. And guess what, y'all? Booking your ticket and going is even easier because you have Air Affordable. Air Affordable allows you to get a ticket on layaway. You can book your ticket as soon as you hear this and book it for your date, pay 40%, and then pay it off before your departure. Come on, y'all. Ain't no excuses now. Money ain't even the problem. You want to see something different? Book your ticket and go. See for yourself. They lied. Remember the commercials? Little children, flies on the eyes, big stomach. No, it's luxurious. Way more luxurious. I'm trying to tell you. Hear me. But book your ticket and go. It's the last episode. The YouTube series. Also, you can follow me on TikTok for the day to day. Well, I'm on all platforms, Bainkoy World on all platforms. You can follow me on TikTok for the day to day. Got a lot of great content coming up. Me and Mr. Saylee. So I'm gonna give them a second to try to come back in. If not, then we'll just go ahead and end this well spent interview conversation. So give me a second. Let me see if I can get them back in to close it out. I'll be right back. All right, people, we are back. We can go ahead and close this thing out. We're gonna let her finish cooking her outro. and then we're gonna get on up out of here. Hold on, here we go.
So,
So yeah, you
okay,
can
okay.
finish your final words, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
Okay, well, first of all, I would like to say thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving my brain some so well needed work. But
Right.
to all the viewer, listener, whatever, please make it your business to put Africa on your bucket list. Try to check it out. Find a country in Africa because you know it's a huge continent. Find a country that you can visit, get with some of your African friends, or get with some tour agency. But the main thing I'll advise that you always go with somebody, and then or you can meet some family over there. Take you around, get to know some places for yourself, and have a in everything that you do, have an open mind. Remember, Africa is not America. So the life that you accustomed to here, it's not gonna be the same. You're gonna learn new things. You're gonna
Mm,
see the good. You're gonna see the ugly. You're gonna see the bad. Just the same culture, yeah. But the only thing is not there. You're not going to be looking over your shoulder because somebody trying to treat you different because the color of your skin. That's not. You're not gonna have that issue. But like I said, please, please, please try to visit Africa. Put Africa on your bucket list. Just check it out. If you don't like it, that's fine. But don't live in a dilemma. Check it out, okay? And thanks again for having me, Bob. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys listening to me. Anybody have a question? I'm always open. You can ask me question, send me a message, and I will definitely, if I have an answer, if I cannot answer you, I will find an answer for you. Okay? And thanks again for having me. Thanks to all the fans. Ooh, yeah.
Hmm. All right, so that was a well spent time. Great interview conversation. A lot of great history and information. I absolutely appreciate you coming on to share that. Because people need to hear all these different perspectives because they just not getting the truth in America. And she
No.
said, try to come. I'm saying, do it. I gotta put it on her again so they can see it.
Yeah.
Book your ticket and
Book
go.
your ticket. Book your ticket because my ticket,
Book
I'm booking
your
my ticket for
ticket and
December.
go. December. Book your ticket and go. What are you waiting for?
Come eat some
Just
good
do
food.
it.
Tell them
You
I'm gonna make
won't
you some
regret it.
vegan cassava leaf,
There we
some
go.
vegan
Vegan
palm
cassava
butter,
leaf. I'm a vegan, y'all. Vegan cassava leaf, vegan palm butter,
and
and
some vegan potato
the
greens.
pepper. Oh, come on with the pepper
Anything
too.
vegan you want, I got you.
I want it all. Make it all. So
Okay,
you're gonna bring heaven to heaven.
we're gonna eat
That's
it.
what I'm talking about. Bringing heaven to heaven. It just gets better and better. So
I'm telling
appreciate you
you.
once again. We're gonna go ahead and close out. We can continue talking for a little while, but I'm gonna go ahead and close out this session.
Sure, sure.
So appreciate everybody for tuning in. It was a great time. I hope somebody heard something that would trigger you to just taste and see. Because I guarantee you, all you got to do is just do it. Just get up and do it. And once you do, you won't regret it. So
That's
stay
it.
tuned for more, and we will see y'all the next time. So this is Bainkoy signing out from Bainkoy World.
Woohoo!
Peace.